Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Winter Haven, Florida for today's broadcast of New Jersey City University baseball here on the Green and Gold Network. Today, the Gothic Knights take on the Lynx of Lesley University out of the New England Collegiate Conference, the NECC, in Game 4 of 8 on the 2012 spring trip. NJCU is 2-2, coming off an impressive 10-1 rout yesterday of defending Little East Conference champion Rhode Island College. Lesley comes in at 1-3, the first ever meeting between these schools in baseball. The Gothic Knights are the home team today after being the road team yesterday. And we welcome you to Chain of Lakes Park, field number 5, same field as yesterday's contest, as NJCU looks to repeat yesterday's success. Good morning, everyone. I'm Ira Thor, Sports Information Director at NJCU, and we thank you for watching today's game here on the Green and Gold Network. Live stats are also available at NJCUGothicKnights.com. And yesterday's winning pitcher, Wendell Rodriguez, who was masterful yesterday, is helping us out up here today on his off day, running camera. We'll also talk with Wendell later, who I've nicknamed Wenrod. I don't think the nickname's going to stick. However, we'll talk to him in the 5th inning about his performance yesterday, his first win of the year. Here is today's lineup as NJCU takes the field. You see Alvin Carrasco in his warm-up pitches. Alvin Carrasco, a junior right-hander, 6', 195-pounder out of Jersey City, New Jersey, St. Mary's High School. First start of the season, second appearance. Around the diamond for the Knights. Behind the plate, Mike Cassiano. Alex Weinstein is at first, Rob Roman at second, Mike Martucci at short, with Juan Cruz getting the start again at third. Andrew Rivera, Mike Patterson, Matt Wagner, same outfield as yesterday, left, center, and right. And leading off for Lesley will be their shortstop, number 2, Aqib Shah. He's a junior, 5'9", 155-pounder out of Watertown, Massachusetts. Followed by Tyler Plord, the right fielder, John Gosnell, the third baseman, with Jeff Gonzalez, the cleanup hitter and catcher. Andrew Kutware plays left. Pete Plansky is at first, batting 6th. Andrew Cologne, is the designated hitter, batting 7th. First pitch is inside by Alvin Carrasco as we begin the game today at 9:27 a.m. here in the Sunshine State. Adam Ciampi is the second baseman, batting 8th for Lesley. Robert Parson plays center field. He'll bat 9th. And it's 2-0 by Carrasco. That's high. So first 3 pitches here in Winter Haven on day 4 of the trip are balls. And Shah, a 4-pitch leadoff walk. And that will bring up Tyler Plord, where's number 6. Sophomore, 5'11", 165-pounder out of Canton, Connecticut. Lesley University is a second-year baseball program. They are a member of the NECC, as we said in our open. Same conference as Daniel Webster, the team that NJCU beat on Saturday on day 1, 1-0. First strike of the day by Alvin Carrasco, who was confused with pop star Chris Brown in the airport on our way down here. The pitch by Carrasco gets by Weinstein. The throw to second base is going to be wide and going into center field. And Rivera is going to gather that one up and throw as NJCU commits back-to-back errors, and Shaw goes all the way to third base. So the attempted pickoff at first allows Shaw to go all the way to third. If you're scoring at home, it's an E1 throwing error and then an E3 throwing error. So 2 errors on the Knights. And Mike Cassiano out to talk with Carrasco, who has a 1-strike edge here. Lesley University went 0-28 last year in their first year of college baseball. They're 1-3 this year. They lost twice to McDaniel on Saturday, 7-0 and 5-0. And after losing their first 30 games, defeated MCLA in their last action on Sunday, as that's a strike 2. 3-2 before losing the nightcap there 7-4. So in the history of the program, they are 1-31. The 0-2 pitch coming here to Plord. In the dirt, bounces away from Cassiano, and the run is going to score, and Shaw comes home, and Lesley has taken a quick 1-0 lead on the wild pitch. An unearned run. Most of the runs scored against the Knights this year have been unearned. NJCU comes in with a team ERA of just 2.25 as that hits Plord. And not a good start here by Alvin Carrasco. He walks a batter in 4 pitches. He's ahead 1-2, and he hits a batter. And the Knights are going to need him to settle down. He's the number 4 pitcher right now in the rotation. And that will bring up the third baseman, number 30, John Gosnell, freshman, 5'8", 145-pounder from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This is the type of team today that NJCU, as the first pitch is low, type of team that NJCU obviously is better than talent-wise. But coming off the 10-1 win yesterday over Rhode Island, a team that on paper was better than NJCU, will there be a letdown? Rhode Island was in the NCAAs last year with 22 wins. The Knights had just 10 last year. Knights were the better team yesterday. Any day. It's a new ball game. No momentum carrying over with a different pitcher each day, and we'll see, how the Knights respond here with a little first inning adversity, as that is a ball. It's 2-0. We say hello to brand new head men's soccer coach Patrick Snyder, who's watching today's game. I believe he's watching in Mercer County, New Jersey right now. So hello, Pat. That's a called strike. Pat calls today's game like a warm-up for March Madness. I am getting a lot of slack online because I have done for the first time ever. That's chopped. Diving is Martucci. Can't come up with it. Roman's there. Flip to Martucci for 1, and they get the force. Martucci did a full layout there to try to grab that one up the middle. Nearly had it. He called out Roman to pick up the loose ball, and they do get the force, as Plord had to get back to first in case that ball was caught, allowing them, the Gothic Knights, to have time. So, if you're scoring at home, it's a fielder's choice. Plord is out 4-6, and that will bring up the catcher, number 4, Jeff Gonzalez, a 5'8", 185-pound junior from Watertown, Massachusetts. Pitched by Carrasco, called strike fastball, outside corner. For the first time ever in any bracket I've ever filled out, I have picked a 16 seed to win. I have picked Long Island University to defeat Michigan State. In fact, I had them going to the Sweet 16. So I might be insane, as that is grounded towards the hole. Cruz is there. Over the Roman for 1. On to first. Not in time. But there's 2 away. So Gonzalez reaches on the fielder's choice. Gosnell is out 5-4. Cruz, only his second start at third base, really fields the position well. Yesterday, he had a barehanded play that ended in an inning, and had he not barehanded the ball, and it was not an easy play at all, because you had to read that and just have perfect coordination to be able to make that grab and throw in one motion, and it ended the inning, and had he gloved it, the runner would have been safe, and a run probably would have scored. That will bring up the left fielder, number 20, Andrew Kootware, a freshman, 5'11", from Colchester, Vermont. And first pitch to Kootware was a ball. Lesley with 1 run unearned here in the top of the first inning. Throw to first. It was wide of the bag. Weinstein kind of gives Carrasco a little look like, you got to be kidding me. First start of the year, though, for Carrasco. Probably a little nervous. And we expect him to settle down as this one goes along. That's outside, 2-0. About 70 degrees here, sunny in Winter Haven. Third game NJCU plays here at Chain of Lakes Park, the former spring training home of the Cleveland Indians. Before the Gothic Knights move on to two other sites for the final 4 games of the trip. On the ground, through the right side of the infield, that is a base hit. Wagner throws to third, right to Cruz. It was a strike, and Gonzalez is forced to stay at second base. Perfectly played ball by Matt Wagner, who is appearing to be a freshman who is going to make a lot of noise this year. He's already hitting .500 in a year, and he's played perfectly in right field. So 2 away. That will bring up the first baseman, number 19, Pete Plansky, 6'1", 210-pound senior from Litchfield, New Hampshire. First pitch to Plansky is a strike. Now what this does, I believe, and I'm going to have to go back and just double check, as that's hit in the air to right center field. Patterson there, Wagner there. Wagner calls everyone off. Wagner makes the catch, and the inning is over. I was about to say that the run by Shaw, which originally was unearned, I believe is now earned because of he was walked. Plord was hit by a pitch, and then there was a fielder's choice that would have advanced him to third, and he would have scored anyway on the from second base on the single by Kootware. So that run is now earned despite the 2 errors. Plansky, though, is retired. And Lesley in the first inning, 1 run on 1 hit. There were 2 Gothic Knight errors and 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of inning number 1 in Winter Haven, Florida. NJCU coming up. We'll have the lineup in just a moment. Lineup today for NJCU. Leading off and playing shortstop will be Mike Martucci, with Michael Patterson batting second and playing center field. The same 1-2 order as yesterday. Alex Weinstein at first base. He bats third, the freshman, followed by Andrew Rivera batting cleanup, I believe, for the first time in his career. He plays left field. Stefan Segan is the designated hitter today, batting fifth, with Juan Cruz at third base, batting sixth. Mike Castellano catches again. He bats seventh. Matt Wagner, been very productive in his first 2 career starts. He's in right field. He bats eighth. Rob Roman gets to start again at second base for the 4th time in 5 games this year. And today he bats ninth. Ray Cohen is the pitcher today for Lesley University, a left-handed 5'10", 170-pound freshman from Coventry, Connecticut. He will throw today to Jeff Gonzalez. Pete Plansky is the first baseman. Adam Ciampi is the second baseman with Akeem Shah at short, and John Gosnell at third. Andrew Kootware plays left field, Robert Parson at center, and Tyler Plord is the right fielder. Our umpires for today's game, Michael Applegate is the home plate umpire calling balls and strikes. John Flack at first base calling outs. We say hello to Wendell's former high school teammate, Jay Aguiar, watching today's game at County Prep High School. And leading off for the Gothic Knights will be Mike Martucci, who had a brilliant day yesterday. Martucci yesterday had 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. He stole 3 bases. He is now hitting .353 on the season. Martucci This is his 5th start, 6 hits and 17 at-bats. He already is 5 for 5 in steals. Pitch by Cohen. That's off the plate. This is Cohen's first appearance of the season. That's a called strike. It's 1-1. Lesley has a team ERA right now. It's a respectable ERA of 3.33, but its opponent's ERA's 1.44. That's way outside. 2 balls and a strike to Mike Martucci. Sophomore, although he's a freshman, we believe eligibility-wise, 6 foot, 170-pounder from Bayonne, New Jersey, out of St. Peter's Prep High School, majoring in criminal justice at NJCU. Inside corner with the fastball, and it's a 2-2 count. Gothic Knights would love to get the leadoff hitter on. The pitch to Martucci, chopped foul. Yesterday, and the leadoff hitter on is something that Coach Jerry Smith has been stressing all season so far. Yesterday, the Gothic Knights finally got the job done in that respect. 7 of 9 leadoff hitters reached base. Somehow, some way they got on, whether by hit, by walk, by hit, by pitch, a couple times by error, but they got on base. And 6 of those 7 leadoff runners came around to score, as NJCU won 10-1. Pitch by to Martucci's, hit in the air, foul, off to our right, and onto field number 6, which is to my right. There are 4 fields basically in a circle here in this part of Chain of Lakes Park. To our left is field 4, where Mount St. Vincent is playing MCLA. Field 3 is being used by Oswego State right now as they warm up for a game. The pitch, chopper, over third base, and a base hit for Mike Martucci. The third baseman, John Gosnell, came in a little bit to try to field the hop, but it caromed over his head and into shallow left field. And Mike Martucci with a leadoff single for the Gothic Knights with nobody out. And that will bring up Michael Patterson batting .438 early on this year. Patterson, who has got every start so far in center field and is perhaps the fastest player on the entire roster for the Gothic Knights. But Mike Martucci at first base is a legitimate threat to steal. As we said, 5 for 5. That's a wild pitch. Gets by the catcher, Gonzalez. Martucci will advance. So on the wild pitch, Martucci now in scoring position as the Gothic Knights trail 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Patterson is number 3 on the team in hitting right now behind Matt Wagner and Ryan Winters. Stepping off is Cohen. Martucci, as we said, 5 for 5 in steals. Patterson is second on the team with 4 steals. NJCU as a team right now, 15 for 16 in stolen bases in the early going. And the only caught stealing was a borderline pickoff. That's hit in the air, foul to our right. Patterson, 7 for 16 so far. He had a team-high 5 RBIs despite being in the 1 or 2 hole in the lineup in every game. He has 1 walk on the year. He's only struck out twice. Cohen glaring over at Martucci. Patterson, chopper, toward short, fielded by Shaw. The throw to first is in time, but Martucci goes to third with 1 out. So a 6-3 for Patterson. A productive out, though, as Martucci advances. And that will bring up Alex Weinstein, the Gothic Knight freshman first baseman. He has started every game so far. 6'2", 225-pounder out of Colonia, New Jersey, JFK Island High School. Freshman eligibility-wise, after transferring from St. Peter's College along with Martucci. Weinstein, the only player on the roster who played high school baseball for Jerry Smith. And that's hit in the air to right center field, and it's going to score a run. Coming over and making the catch is Parson, and Martucci comes home to tie the game at 1. A sacrifice fly by Alex Weinstein, and he gets the job done. Here in the bottom of the first inning, we are tied at 1. Weinstein saw a pitch that he could drive, recognized it right away, and was able to get a fly ball to get that run home. And that will bring up Andrew Rivera, the junior co-captain out of Edison, New Jersey. The criminal justice major has started every game in left field. He's batting .294 entering today's game. 3 for 3 in steals, 5 for 17 at the plate. And he takes a called strike. I have to thank Bob Cesare, the father of NJCU pitching coach Nick Cesare, who's been getting me coffee every morning as we're starting a lot of these early games. And stopped at Dunkin' Donuts today, and I appreciate very much the cup of coffee. Is outside and low. And I believe he said that his wife, Nick's mom, Olga, is watching today's game in South Plainfield, New Jersey. So if you are watching, we welcome you to the broadcast. Rivera hits in the air, straight away left field. Coming over and making the catch is Kootware, and that will end the inning as Rivera flies out. But not before NJCU gets even. 1 run on 1 hit. Martucci singled, advanced on a wild pitch, moved to third on the ground out, and scored on a sac fly by Alex Weinstein. And NJCU, 1 run on 1 hit, nobody left on. We've played 1 full inning here in Game 4 of the Florida trip in Winter Haven. Back here for the second inning, and the designated hitter, Colon, is up, and he offers the first pitch. As I'm finally forced to don the sunglasses here. Between at-bats, as that is high. See if Wendell can swing the camera in this direction just so you can see the crazy setup that we have here. This is the setup that we have here on the Florida trip in 2012, not 2011. 2011, we were planning on doing the same thing, and this was all set up. The equipment was ready to go to come on the trip, and the NCAA happened for the men's basketball team as ball 3 comes to Cologne. And we weren't able to make the trip down, and then the men's basketball team unfortunately lost to Cabrini last year, and it was the situation where the Gothic Knights has that is ball 4, and Cologne walks. The Gothic Knights are in the postseason. That takes priority. And then we lose in the first round, and we can't cover the baseball trip either. But as they say, them the breaks. And that will bring up the second baseman, number 18, Adam Ciampi. He's a 5'11 freshman out of Westford, Massachusetts. Ironically, Cabrini, that we were talking about a moment ago, defeated NJCU last year, went to the Sweet 16. They have one loss this year, and they are in the Final Four this weekend. So at least when NJCU lost last year, they went down to a program that really was destined for greatness. Carrasco deals. That's high, and he's thrown a couple of those pitches that have forced Mike Cassiano to quickly get up out of the catcher's crouch. Now, this is a type of game where Lesley hasn't had a ton of success offensively. They have a .237 team batting average coming in, 7 runs in 4 games, a chance for Alvin Carrasco to really distinguish himself on the mound, and he needs to seize the moment. The 2-0 pitch, and that is high, and it's 3-0. Second time that he's fallen behind 3-0 to a batter. Cologne is at first. There are no outs. We are in the top of the second inning, live in Winter Haven, Florida, Chain of Lakes Park, field number 5. 3-0 pitch. That is a strike. After today, the Gothic Knights will have a day off tomorrow before taking on Mount St. Mary at 12 p.m. in Lakeland, Florida. Everyone on the team is going to try to do something on their day off. That is ball 4. Back-to-back walks. 3 so far given up by Cassiano. Not by Cassiano, as Cassiano walks out to the mound, by Carrasco. He's actually allowed 4 free passes if you count the hit batter. And that will entice pitching coach Nick Cesar to come out to the mound and have a conversation. The entire infield comes in. The main issue right now is Alvin Carrasco is not throwing strikes. While we have a break, we'll see if Wendell can get a shot of the bluff in right field. There are a lot of fans watching out on the bluff overlooking right field. I can tell you for a fact that one of them is Bob Cesare, Nick's father. I just know what his legs look like now. He's wearing shorts out there. I think also out there looks like Alex Weinstein's mom and father, and I believe his grandfather. But a lot of parents down on the trip this year, and they'd like to see Carrasco retire Parson. But right now, Lesley is threatening. No one out here in the top of the second inning. A pair of walks, and the center fielder making his first plate appearance. The ball gets by Cassiano, and both runners advance. What you think, Wendell? Wild pitch? Cassiano had a chance at that one, but it was really low and in the dirt, so we're going to make that a wild pitch. So you come up, you do camera, you help get in the scoring opinion. Pitch to Parson. That is low, and it's 2-0. Parson, a 5'8", 155-pound freshman from Comac, New York. That is low. It's 3-0. Throwing in the pen for the Knights is, I believe, Zack Markle, left-hander. And if Alvin Carrasco can't straighten this out pretty soon, that will make his afternoon a very short one. That is a strike, 3-1. Ciampi is at second. Cologne is at third. They both walked and advanced on a wild pitch. 1-1 is our score. Top of the second inning, live in Winter Haven, Florida. Just before 10 a.m. here on day 4, or game 4 of the Florida trip. It's also day 4. That is high. Third walk of the inning. Carrasco is walking himself out of this game. And that will bring up the leadoff hitter, Shaw. The shortstop walked and eventually scored the first run of the game in the top of the first inning. And we're hoping Carrasco can get this straightened out. We'd really like to see him succeed. but he's given up 4 walks already today, 3 here in the second inning. Throwing out his stretch. Curveball is a strike. Ira Thor with you here on the Green and Gold Network. Yesterday's winning pitcher, Wendell Rodriguez, helping us out on camera. We are on the deck overlooking all the fields here in the back part of Chena Lakes Park. As a ball, it's 1-1. On Thursday, we will move to Lakeland, Florida, before finishing the trip on Friday and Saturday with 3 games in Auburndale. That's hit in the air. Shallow, left field. Martucci's over. He calls everyone off, and he will make... No, he drops it. He drops it. The throw home, and we are going to have a play at the plate. Cassiano is there. Cassiano, and he's just going to have to make one tag. He's going to have to tag somebody. Somebody has to be out. And we're waiting for the official call. It's not an infield fly rule. And because they got somebody in a rundown here, it's not going to be an error. We're waiting on the official call here. So either Cologne or Ciampi are going home. Back to the dugout, and it is Ciampi. So officially, it's a fielder's choice down the left field line. Parson advances. Ciampi is out 6-2, and Cologne stays. I'm going to have to put a note there in the box score as the right fielder Port comes to the plate. The first pitch was a ball, actually. I was incorrect there. I thought it was ball 2. It was actually ball 3. And we'll have a pitch here by Jerry Smith. Probably pitching change, a conversation at the mound, and we'll be right back. Fans, sorry for the delay there. We actually had a scoring sheet, so I was going back into the computer, so it's reflected in the live stats. The actual call on that dropped ball by Martucci, they have officially ruled it an infield fly, even though it was in shallow left field, because the bases were loaded. An infield fly, and had the runner stayed, he would not have been tagged out, so it actually ended up being a double play, an error double play. However, Gothic Knights get a break there, so no runs are in. We will have a pitching change, though, after the fourth walk of the inning. That's it for Alvin Carrasco. We'll give you his line at the end of this inning, but the new pitcher is Zack Markle, the sophomore from Hoboken, New Jersey, will get his second appearance of the season. So if you were confused, don't worry, so was I. New pitcher is Markle. He inherits 3 runners here in the second inning. And the first pitch by the left-hander is a ball. No room to put anyone. Markle so far this year, been perfect. 1 appearance. He's allowed no earned runs. 1 run was allowed, but it was an error that came around. 1 inning pitch. Struck out 1. He has not walked a batter. Does not want to walk a batter here. That was a very unusual play there with Martucci and that infield fly that was not really an infield fly. Knights will take the break, though. That is high. And it's 3-0, and the Gothic Knights cannot find the strike today. First play today. First it was Carrasco unable to find the strike zone, and now Markle having his difficulties. A walk will give Lesley a 2-1 lead. And he steps off. Zack Markle, we're number 5 this year, a 5'7", 180-pound left-hander from Hoboken, New Jersey, at a Hoboken High School. And like starting pitcher, senior Nelson Maldonado, they're both majoring in mathematics. That is a strike, outside corner, 3-1. Gosnell, who is the batter, reached on a fielder's choice in his first plate appearance in the first inning. Markle looks at first. The pitch. That's ball 4. And Lesley, with their 5th walk of the inning, finally gets a run. It's rare that you see 5 walks in an inning before a run is scored, but that is what just happened. And it's 2-1, Lesley. RBI for Gosnell, and that will bring up the catcher, Jeff Gonzalez, who also reached on the fielder's choice in the first inning. And first pitch is a ball. And congratulations to my graduate assistant, Katie Beckman. After a long day of technical difficulties, I am happy to say that there will be live stats today for Gothic Knights softball. Katie, if you're watching today's game down in Fort Myers, I know softball doesn't play till 1 o'clock. Thank you for getting that done. Gothic Knights softball team is 2-0 for the first time in 10 years. They defeated Worcester yesterday 4-3 in their opener. Worcester, a very good team out of Ohio, before doubling up Mitchell 10-5. Jess Musarino was the winning pitcher in Game 2. She had a 2-run homer in Game 1. Markle throws to first, and stumbling back into the base was Gosnell. Hit in the air, right field. This should end the inning. Wagner's there, makes the catch. And despite a lot of adversity, the Gothic Knights escaped this inning with just 1 run against. Second inning for Lesley, 1 run. There were no hits, there were no errors, there were 5 walks. and 3 left on base. And we played 1.5 here in Winter Haven, Florida. Lynx leading the Gothic Knights 2-1. Bottom of the second inning here in Winter Haven, Florida. I want to say hello to a few folks watching today's game. First of all, NJCU alumni Dave Armstrong, who's a big supporter of NJCU, member of the Hall of Fame committee, watching today's game in the Baltimore, Maryland area. Also, my good friend Chris Vancheri. Went to college with at William Patterson back in the 90s. Big-time Giant fan. He's telling me not to pull a John Sterling. It's pretty funny, Chris. Just read your text. Gothic Knights trailing by 1. But you know what? If you think about the difficulty that they went through that inning with finding the strike zone, walking 5 to escape with just 1 run against, I think you'll take that any day of the week. So the Gothic Knights will send their 5, 6, and 7 hitters to the plate. Segan, Cruz, and Cassiano. Segan getting the start today at DH. The freshman from North Bergen is a .250 hitter so far early on in his college career. Segan has played in 3 previous games with 2 starts, 2 for 8 overall, 2 runs, no RBIs. And first pitch to Segan is high. His older brother Damian just recently signed with the Newark Bears as a pitcher. That is high. Segan is majoring in criminal justice, 5'8", 207-pounder, went to Hudson Catholic High School. Ground ball to third. Gosnell has it. Throw across the diamond, a looping throw, but it's in time. So 1 away here on the 5-3, and that will bring up Juan Cruz, still looking for his first collegiate hit. Playing a mean third base, though. Gothic Knights have some really good fielders at third this year with Bastillo and Cruz. Cruz can also play first. Segan can also play third, but right now the coaches are trying to get his bat going in the lineup as the DH. Cruz so far, this is his 5th game, his 2nd start, and that's hit in the air down the left field line. Giving chase is Gosnell in foul territory, and he makes the catch before falling into the fencing. Cruz swinging the first pitch and popped that one up, and Gosnell doing a good job of looking up into the Florida sun and making that catch. I enjoy saying that, the Florida sun. It's got a nice ring to it. And that will bring up Mike Cassiano. So 2 quick outs here for the Gothic Knights. They trail 2-1. Cassiano batting just 125. And first pitch to Cassiano is a strike. Cassiano starting his 4th game of the year today after starting just 3 as a freshman last year. 1 for 8. He does have an RBI. He does have a double. And fouls that one back into the screen. 0-2 to Cassiano. If he gets on, he'll be followed by the red-hot Matt Wagner, who's been given the nickname Swagner by his teammates. Time called by home plate umpire Michael Applegate. The one thing I'll say is we've had some really good umpires so far on this trip. Been a couple calls here or there, but there always are. but for the most part they've been excellent, both ways. Off the plate, 1 and 2. Cassiano, the sophomore from Newark, North 13th Street High School. The 1-2 pitch inside and hits him on the left leg, and he reaches base, and that will bring up the dangerous Matt Wagner, who is arguably right now the top freshman in this lineup. As productive as Martucci has been, Wagner in his brief starts has been just absolutely sensational. He leads the team right now with a .500 batting average. 2 starts before this, 4 for 8, 5 runs, a double, and he's a 1,000 fielding percentage in right field. First pitch is outside. Cassiano not a serious threat to steal. He might, but there's others on the team who would feel would be more of a candidate to steal. Time at first base. See if Wendell can get a quick shot. Cassiano, I believe he's tying his shoe there. He's having a conversation with Matt Soleno, my roommate on the trip. Gothic Knights assistant coach who's manning the first base box right now. 3 of our 4 coaches are down here. Obviously, head coach Jerry Smith, pitching coach Nick Cesar. And the pitch home is high, and it's a wild pitch, and Cassiano doesn't have to steal second. He's handed it. Our other coach is first year, they're all first year coaches, is a brand new coaching staff this year, but Raj Subramanian, who has been watching the game in Central Jersey. He's back home. He went back to get a teaching certification. He's a graduate of York College of Pennsylvania, but he went back to school to get his teaching certification. As that's popped over us and on to field number 3 as everyone scatters away. Raj is doing his student teaching, which is part of the certification process. I think he's at East Brunswick High School, or middle school, I believe, one of the two. So it's a 2-1 pitch here to Wagner. Cassiano with 2 outs was hit by a pitch and just advanced on a wild pitch. He could represent the tying run as that's fouled away again. And the Oswego State players duck again as he lands on field 3 behind us. So it's 2-2. Between innings, we'll just pan to our right so you can see where these foul balls have been landing. We are literally on a deck overlooking all 4 fields here, 3 which are game fields, 1 which is more of a practice field. The pitch off the plate, and the count is full to Wagner. So with 2 outs, Cassiano at second, Wagner having a 3-2 count from pitcher Ray Cohen. Cohen, a 5'10 freshman left-hander, his first career appearance today on the mound for the Lesley University Lynx. Chopper, foul. 7th pitch of the at-bat will come up here as Wagner, the number 8 hitter today, really battling Cohen. Pair of freshmen. Who will get the better of this first matchup today? Wagner asks for time, and it's granted by home plate umpire Michael Applegate. 2-1. Lesley leading here in second inning. The Lynx with single runs in the first and second innings. Five walks last inning leading to 1 run, and 2 errors helping lead to a run in the top of the first. Each team is 1 hit. The pitch to Wagner. That is high, ball 4. 2 straight base runners for the Gothic Knights, and that will bring up Rob Roman. Gothic Knight sophomore captain. .58", 175-pounder out of Hoboken, New Jersey, St. Joseph's of the Palisades High School. A Dean's List student at NJCU. And that is high. Rob, a criminal justice major. He's actually concentrating in national security studies, which is one of the specialties of the criminal justice program at NJCU. As a strike. If you're watching today's game here on the Green and Gold Network on Ustream, say hello in the chat board and we'll say hi to you on the air. We always like to know who's watching, whether you're an NJCU fan, a Lesley fan, or just a fan of baseball in general. 1-1 pitch to Roman, right over the heart of the plate, and it's 1-2. Wagner at first, Cassiano at second. Either player with a great deal of speed. But a well-hit ball by Roman could make this interesting. Going deals. Hit in the air. Left field. Backing up is the left fielder, Kootware. And he reaches up and he makes the catch. And that ends the second inning threat for the Gothic Knights. Roman hit it well, probably about 320 feet or so, straight away left field. But Kootware was able to retreat in time, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left on for the Gothic Knights. We head to the 3rd inning here in Winter Haven, Florida. It is 2-1 Lesley. As we get ready to start the 3rd inning here, I'm going to have Wendell just swing the camera over to our right to show you field 3 and maybe do a quick pan around the complex. That's me. Hi, everyone. Field 3 is over here. Oswego State will be playing, actually, I think they're going to be playing Mount St. Vincent. The game over here, field number 4, is MCLA against, maybe it's Haverford, I'm not 100% sure. Well, you get to see a wild pitch from another game. See, we're not the only ones, folks. Wild pitches everywhere. But we're getting set now for the top of the 3rd inning, and it'll be Kootware leading off, the number 5 hitter. He's singled. He's the only hit so far for the Lynx, and the first pitch by Markle is a high ball. And Pat Snyder, the head coach for the Gothic Knight men's soccer team, will be happy to know that as that's hit in the air foul off to our right, I am wearing a NJCU men's soccer shirt today. I'm wearing baseball all trip. Figured I'd change it up a little bit today. That's fouled off into the screen. And the count is 1-2. You know, there's a lot of families watching the game in Central Jersey. Grounder at Weinstein, dives the flip. Markle's there. What a play! What a sensational play there. Weinstein diving, couldn't catch it, but knocked it down and signaled to Markle to come over. As he flipped the ball underhanded, Markle comes over and easily gets the bag before Kootware. 1 away. That will bring up Plansky, who flew out to right field to end the first inning. And it's a called strike. That's popped off to our right and just in danger of hitting a shed. So 2 strikes here to Plansky. Markle facing his 3rd batter, or 4th batter I should say. He is throwing strikes, something that starting pitcher Alvin Carrasco did not do. Chopper up the middle. Martucci's there. Gathers. Throw the first in time by plenty. 2 away. And that will bring up the designated hitter Cologne. Cologne, a sophomore, 5'9", 195 pounds, out of Chelsea, Massachusetts. Beautiful day here in Winter Haven. Hitting the air, first pitch, shallow left field. Martucci on the edge of the outfield grass, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Zack Markle in relief. Third inning here for Lesley. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning in Game 4 of the Florida trip. And NJCU and Lesley, a 1-run game. The Lynx lead 2-1. I'm talking about a number of the families being down here. The Rivera family is on the trip this week. The Weinstein family, the Patterson family, Ryan Winter's family is here. Winter's getting the day off. Obviously, Bob Cesare we mentioned, Nick Cesare, our pitching coach's father. Jerry Smith walking to his 3rd base box. I know he has friends and family watching back home in his first year as Gothic Knight head coach. His wife Michelle was watching the game yesterday. Alex Weinstein was telling me in the van ride over, and you learn a lot from these players from being in a van with them. Some stuff obviously not repeatable. But Alex was telling me how his aunt Anna is watching the game at home. Alex is looking at us right now. He's getting ready to bat this next inning. He will be the 3rd batter up. He'll be Martucci, Patterson, and Weinstein. And we're happy to be able to bring you these games live from Florida. We'll try to bring you some from the Garrity Complex as well this year. Martucci swinging at the first pitch. Straightaway center field, drifting back is Parson, and he makes the catch as well, hit by Martucci, but he's retired on 1 pitch. Saw a fastball he could swing at, and he took a rip. So 1 for 2 today is Martucci. That'll bring up Patterson. He grounded out to short. That came in the 1st inning. It was a productive ground out, though, because it moved Martucci over to 3rd, and he eventually scored on a sac fly by Weinstein. So Patterson now batting .412 on the season, and he takes a strike. With Mike up, we say hello to Keith Patterson. That's grounded towards 3rd. Gosnell throws, and it's in the dirt and gets away. Patterson is safe at first. Trying to decide what we want to do here. I think he had it beat. Now we have to give that an E5 throwing error, though. We'll go back and we'll review that one later. As of right now, though, officially, we're going to score that an E5 throwing error. But Patterson's on base. He's a legitimate threat to steal second, third, home anytime he's on base. And the first pitch to Weinstein is a ball. Now, I do think Patterson had that play beat. However, officially, we have to right now call that an error, and we'll go back and change it if necessary. We have the video. We've been watching the video in the room each day after we get back. But Mike's, I think he said his uncle Keith, I want to say. And Keith, if you're still watching, let me know if that's correct. He is watching from Charlotte, North Carolina. He was down on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But he finally had to make the drive back to Charlotte. I think it's about an 8-hour drive from where we are. There goes Patterson. The throw to second base is in time. That was a perfect throw by the catcher. And Jeff Gonzalez making the throw to the second baseman, Adam Ciampi. And it's going to take a perfect throw to get Patterson out this year. He's got a lot of speed. Only the second time NJCU has been caught stealing this year. Brian Bastille was the other runner who was thrown out this year. Pitch to Weinstein. That is a strike. It is 2-2. Two away, the pitch. In the air. Not that deep, and backing up is the shortstop in shallow left center field. Schaub makes the catch, and the inning's over, and the Gothic Knights are retired. 1-2-3. Although Patterson did get on base and was thrown out, so the Knights get on base with an error, caught stealing, so they go 1-2-3, but not the typical way. But you're okay with NJCU being thrown out as a caught stealing, because the thing that is really, I think, separated this team early this year is the aggressiveness. NJCU, anytime they're on base, is going to be a threat to steal. What that does, generates runs. Officially in the third inning, no runs, no hits, one error, and nobody left on. 3 innings in the book. And we head to the fourth with Lesley leading 2-1. And interesting note, Gothic Knights are 2-2 on the year. They've won every game that they have been the visiting team on the scoreboard. They've lost every game that they've been the home team on the scoreboard. Gothic Knights hoping to end that trend today. And Zack Markle out for his second full inning of work after coming in relief in the second inning for Alvin Carrasco, who had an ineffective start today. It will be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Ciampi, Parson, and Shaw. And a swing and a miss by Ciampi, who was one of 5 batters to walk in the second inning. So his first official at bat. Nice pitch by Markle, perfectly located. And it's 0-2. The Cesars actually drove a van with the equipment down from Jersey instead of flying. That's hit in the air. Foul off to our right. Weinstein's over. It's going to be out of play. And unable to make the catch was Orlando Bolano. Just say he lost it in the sun. I think everyone will understand. Bolano, one of 2 players who started in right field this year. He has the day off. Fouled away again. No balls and 2 strikes. 20 pitches thrown so far by Markle. He's been very good since a couple early I think the first 3 pitches he threw were balls, but ever since then, 13 of his last 17 pitches have been for strikes. Hit in the air, shallow. Weinstein coming in, calling everyone off as he has to make a mad sprint down the first base line towards home plate, and he snares it in the webbing of his glove in fair territory for the pop out to first base. That would bring up Parson. He walked, as did everybody in the second inning. So his first official at bat. 1 away here in the 4th inning. Lesley leading NJCU 2-1. Ground ball to third. Cruz on one hop, gathers, throws to first perfectly, 2 away. Cruz really plays a very nice third base. Two away, Shaw comes to the plate. Shaw walked and scored the first run in the first inning, and then he was out on a very odd infield fly down the left field line. So he's 0 for 1 officially. 5'9" junior shortstop takes a strike. Lesley, as we said earlier, a second-year program, a member of the NECC conference. They were 0-28 last year in their first year as a varsity program. That is a ball. They are 1-3 so far this year. Lost their first 2 games to McDaniel, 7-0 and 5-0. McDaniel beat NJCU on Sunday 7-1, although that score is not indicative of what the game was really like. It's 2-1. And then they beat MCLA, Lesley did, 3-2 before losing the nightcap of that doubleheader 7-4. Those games were on Sunday. Lesley had yesterday off. In the air, right field, Wagner moving over a little bit to the right field line, reaches up and makes the catch, and the inning comes to an end. A 1-2-3 inning thrown by Markle, who is really giving the Gothic Knights a solid performance here in relief. Throwing very few pitches, and that's something that NJC really could use here to preserve the rest of the rotation in the bullpen. Markle keeps pitching like this. He may have a long outing today. 4th inning, no runs, no hits, nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Here in Winter Haven, it's 2-1 Lesley. Now tomorrow, everyone at NJCU for baseball is off. I know some of the players are talking about going to see maybe a Division I game, perhaps going to, I guess, the Tampa area. I'm not exactly sure where the Red Sox play their spring training games, but talking about going to see a minor league game. Some are thinking about going to Universal Studios, which is about a half-an-hour ride from here. So I'm going to rent a car and drive over to Palm Coast, Florida, where my 95-year-old grandfather and 87-year-old grandmother are, and I don't get to see them too often, so it's always nice when we have the day off here to drive over to the coast. And then there'll be 4 more games on this trip. Mount St. Mary on Thursday, a doubleheader with Framingham State on Friday before closing the 8-day swing against Sewanee, University of the South, who may have had the greatest football team in the history of college football in 1899. Do a little research on Sewanee and see what comes up. 1899 football team was amazing. And no, I did not see them play. Andrew Rivera will lead off the bottom of the 4th for the Gothic Knights. The cleanup hitter today offers at the first pitch. It's a strike. Rivera will be followed by Segan and Cruz. Way outside by Cohen, 1-1. One pitch. and it hit Rivera in the top of the back. Second time in as many days he's been hit. Yesterday he was not very happy. He got hit in the side and slammed the bat down. Today he just drops the bat and runs over the first. So with one away, that will bring up the designated hitter, Stefan Segan, who grounded out to third to lead off the second inning. Segan now hitting .222 on the year. Rivera, big lead off first base, and he'll have to back. Throw was into the runner, and the first baseman, Pete Plansky, actually had to reach into Rivera to make that catch. Another throw back to first. Rivera in safely, standing. Pitch out, throw to first. Rivera in. They were being very cautious with Andrew Rivera leading off with being hit by a pitch. Ball two. Another throw to first. You can probably hear in the background the Gothic Knight dugout, which is on the first base side yet again, yelling back. As Rivera begins to creep out again, taking a large lead at first. That's high. 3-0. He may not need to steal. He might be moving over on a walk. So out to have a conversation with Cohen was the catcher, Gonzalez. Another throw back. I think this is the fifth one, Wendell. And that's ball four. So Segan walks, and the Gothic Knights have runners on first and second with nobody out, trailing by one. That brings up Juan Cruz. After Segan walks in 4 pitches, and Rivera was hit by a pitch, Cruz fouled out down the left field line to the third baseman, and that came in his first at bat in inning number 2. Stepping off is Cohen. The sun is really starting to warm up now. I'm regretting wearing jeans today. I wore shorts yesterday and I was freezing. It was very windy here. Showing bunt is Cruz, who fouls it off. Wore shorts yesterday, ended up being in the 60s. Very windy. I was cold. Figured, all right, you know what, maybe I'll learn from my mistake. Wear jeans today. Opposite today. It's really heating up quickly. 10:40 a.m. here in Winter Haven, Florida. It's supposed to be 86 degrees today. Cruz swings through that pitch. It's 0-2. According to my iPhone, it is currently 75 degrees. 74 degrees, I'm sorry. Be 75 at 11 a.m. swing and a miss, and Juan Cruz, and he yells in frustration there. Clearly frustrated right now, still looking for his first hit of the year. He strikes out swinging on 3 pitches. One away, and that will bring up Mike Cassiano. Cassiano was hit by a pitch and stranded at second base in the second inning. Cassiano, an RBI opportunity here. Hit in the air, foul off to our right, and falls short of the bullpen. That's off the plate. 1-1. Cohen step off. Rivera retreats. We had dinner last night about 5 minutes from Disney World. And so I took a picture of the area we were in because I came down with my family for 2 weeks last year. We stayed in Kissimmee. I sent it to my wife as Cassiano swings and misses. My kids, my 9-year-old son Gavin, who is in 3rd grade and hopefully in school right now and not watching today's game, and my 5-year-old daughter Kendra, last year was their first time at Disney World. They saw the picture, and my wife says they got upset because they thought I was going to Disney World without them. I find that kind of funny. The pitch, swing and a miss inside. I think it was a curveball. And Cassiano's second consecutive batter to strike out. And once again, that leaves it up to Matt Wagner. Wagner walked in the second inning. He's still hitting .500 on the season. He has not hit an RBI yet, and we'll see if that changes after this at bat. As home plate umpire Michael Applegate is out to brush the dirt off the plate. Wagner, 5'11", 176-pounder from Colonia, New Jersey, Colonia High School. Played high school ball for Matt Soleno, the Gothic Knights assistant coach. And Wagner, the accounting major, swings and misses at the first pitch. Off the plate, good eye by Wagner, 1-1. I just texted my wife to let my kids know later that I would not go to Disney World without them. That would be boring. In the air, straight away center field. A little shallower than I first expected, but coming in making the catch is Robert Parson, who called off the second baseman. Ciampi makes the catch. Wagner is retired, and the inning has come to a close. NJCU threatened. Rivera was hit by a pitch. Segan walked, but the Gothic Knights, with no one out and runners at first and second, failed to capitalize. And they trail 2-1 after 4 innings. Here in the 4th inning, no runs, no hits, and 2 left. 4 innings here in the books in Winter Haven, Florida, day 4 of the Florida trip. We head to the top of the fifth inning, I should say, and Florida's up, and he takes a strike one from Markle, who's out for his third inning of work. Plord, he is the number 2 hitter, playing right field today. And a strike, gets away from Cassiano. It's 0-2. Plord, a sophomore, 5'11", from Canton, Connecticut. Chopper on the ground. Coming in is Martucci on the run, and he's going to be an infield single. That would have been a really tough play for Martucci. So Plord with a leadoff single to short, and that will bring up the third baseman, Gosnell. Gosnell is 0 for 1. He walked, and that walk actually drove in a run as the bases were loaded. We'll have an infield meeting here on the mound. Markle with Cassiano, Weinstein, Roman, Martucci, and Cruz all having a conversation, discussing strategy here. And home plate umpire Michael Applegate will come out to break it up. In the air, right field, Wagner ranging to his right, a little bit more towards the foul line as the wind blows it that direction. Wagner makes the catch, one pitch, and Gosnell is out. One away. That brings up the catcher and cleanup hitter today, Jeff Gonzalez. Gonzalez is 0 for 2, a fielder's choice, and a fly out to right. Lesley, which is located in the Boston area, has players from 7 different states or provinces: New York, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont, Toronto, Canada, taking advantage of a wide range of recruiting areas in the New England area. That's popped up towards me, actually. And wow, it almost lands in home plate on the game to our left. That's fouled away, as actually Plord took off on that one, I should say, so he has to go back to first. But I was hoping to make my first foul catch of the trip. Obviously, the one thing I do not want is a foul ball from another field coming here and hitting us in the booth. You want to at least know it's coming. Popped foul in front of the third base dugout. Cast out of there, and he makes the catch. About one step away from the warning track area. So 2 away. And that will bring up the left fielder, Andrew Kootware, the number 5 hitter. He is 1 for 2. In his last at bat in the third inning, Alex Weinstein made a brilliant play, diving to knock down a ball before flipping it to first for a 3-1. Had to call it strike. Markle now 35 pitches, 25 for strikes. He had an on and off freshman year, but he's looked very good so far as a sophomore. Markle goes to first. Diving back in is Plord. In the air, foul onto field number 6. Apparently, it's been beautiful in New Jersey the last few days, in the 70s, inside. Seems to happen every year. Anytime we come down on this trip, you're all happy. It's going to be beautiful down here. And all of a sudden, nice weather comes to New Jersey. So you don't really get anything special in terms of weather. That's hitting the air to left field. Rivera backing up about 20 feet from the fence. Makes the catch on the line out. The inning is over. Top of the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning, and then in the 6th inning, we'll be joined by Wendell Rodriguez. We'll give him a headset and talk about yesterday's win over Rhode Island. So we'll give you a little bit of warning here. If you're a Wendell Rodriguez fan and want to record the interview, it's coming up soon. Wendell's got the shades on now. He's all set. Yesterday we were saying how NJCU had 7 of their 9 leadoff runners reach base. Today, 2 of 4. And it'll be Rob Roman, Mike Martucci, and Mike Patterson due up. Need 9, 1, and 2 hitters. Gothic Knights would need Rob Roman to get his bat going. Number of players really need to get their bats going for NJCU, but Rob Roman obviously being a sophomore leader in this team. He's going to play almost every day. And as the end of his freshman year came to a close, he really did well, especially in NJAC play. Hit way over 300 in the league last year. Roman, now at 200 on the year. He flew out to left field. That was his only plate appearance. And he looks at ball 1. Hit sharply to center field, and that's a base hit for Rob Roman to left center. So Roman with the leadoff hit. His 3rd hit of the season. And for the 3rd time today, Gothic Knights had the leadoff man on. Top of the order, and I will bring up Mike Martucci. He's 1 for 2. He singled and scored the Gothic Knights' only run in the 1st inning. He lined out to center field. That came in the 3rd. Strike. Curveball on the outside part of the plate to the right-handed hitting Martucci. Outside, and having the lunge for that one is Jeff Gonzalez to prevent a wild pitch, which would have put Roman at second base. Martucci hits it well to right field, but right at the right fielder Plord. And 1 away. So 2nd time that Martucci has driven the ball nicely, but right at a fielder. And then we'll bring up the center fielder, Michael Patterson, the biology major, the junior from Piscataway, New Jersey. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded to short. And he reached on a throwing error by the 3rd baseman in the 3rd inning. Inside, going halfway, was Roman, but the catcher Gonzalez was able to block that and prevent Roman from going any further than he did. Patterson hits it well to left field, and that's a base hit. Going to 3rd is Roman. Advancing on the throw is Mike Patterson. And the Gothic Knights take advantage there. Mike Patterson never stopped running, took advantage of that, advancing on the throw. And the Gothic Knights with one out have runners at second and third. So a single by Patterson, and NJCU is in business. And that brings up Weinstein, now hitting .235. He's popped out to short in his last at bat. He also has a sacrifice fly driving in the only run so far for the Knights. Third hit for NJCU. They now have a 3-2 advantage in the hit column, but they trail 2-1 here in the bottom of the fifth inning in Winter Haven, Florida. NJCU 2-2 on the year. Lesley is 1-3. Hit sharply foul. Jerry Smith, Gothic Knight head coach, trying to leap and barehand that with the left hand, but that was hit over his head. Alex Weinstein has not stopped talking about his desire for Peyton Manning to sign with the Miami Dolphins. He is a big Dolphin fan, also a big Red Sox fan. In the air, center field, straight away, backing up is the center fielder Parson. That is going to be another sacrifice fly, and NJCU has tied the game at 2. For the second time today, Alex Weinstein driving the ball to center field, this time lining it on a button. Roman scores, Patterson goes to third, and we are knotted at 2. So 2 away, and that will bring up Rivera, with Patterson representing the go-ahead run, standing 90 feet away. Andrew Rivera today is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch and then stranded at second base. Swings and misses, the lefty does. Those fans watching the game in the Boston area perhaps will not dislike Alex Weinstein as much for tying the game, knowing that he is a Boston Red Sox fan. You don't get too many of those in New Jersey. That's off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mike Patterson wants to be an orthopedic surgeon or orthopedic doctor, standing at third base. That's off the plate. I'll tell you what, if that ball got away from the catcher, this game would be a 3-2 game, because Patterson was about 10 feet off third base, and with his speed, he would come home. Hit sharply over third base. That is a base hit down the left field line. Rivera goes all the way to second with a stand-up double. Coming home is Mike Patterson, and the Gothic Knights have taken a 3-2 lead with 2 runs home here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Andrew Rivera with the RBI. Andrew Rivera, that's his 3rd RBI of the season, his 6th hit, 2 of which have been doubles. Stefan Segan now at the plate. And first pitch is a foul tip into the glove. Strike 1. Segan batting .222 so far this year. Segan looking for his first RBI as a collegiate player. Cohen steps off. Rivera walks back to second base with an RBI double already in his pocket. After this inning, we'll talk to Wendell Rodriguez. Yesterday, the team went to the Golden Corral for dinner, and we got a team picture, except for 3 players who decided to go get ice cream. Wendell, Rob Roman, and Mike Patterson. So we'll have to Photoshop them into the photo. That's off the plate. Rivera to lead off second. The pitch to Segan. That is low. 2 balls and a strike. Correction, 3 balls and a strike. And Jeff Gonzalez comes out to talk to his pitcher, Ray Cohen. NJCU had just 9 runs in its first 3 games a year, including 1 on each of the first 2 games of this trip. Produced 10 runs yesterday. They've scored twice here in the 5th inning. Segan lines a laser, I should say, to right field, and it was right at the right fielder Tyler Pord, who comes in and makes the catch, and that ends the inning. So a line out to right field. Rivera is stranded at second base. And in the 5th inning, the Gothic Knights do jump in front for the first time today. 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 left on. 5 innings in the books here in Winter Haven, Florida. And NJCU has taken a 3-2 lead over Lesley University. And at this time, we'll welcome in yesterday's winning pitcher, Wendell Rodriguez. A big smile on his face. Put the microphone a little closer to your face, and we'll bring the mic up here. And first of all, congratulations on the win yesterday. You have to be thrilled with your performance and how your team really offensively did a great job of picking you up.
Yeah, they definitely did from the beginning, from the first inning. They gave me a lead, and just try to attack hitters and keep the lead.
Now you came in against a Rhode Island team that was a defending conference champion. As a pitcher, does that motivate you a little more, knowing that you're going up against a team that is probably comparable to an NJAC team?
Yeah, well, actually I didn't even know when I was going into the game that I try not to look at their stats or anything like that, so it doesn't affect my game. And I just try to be focused throughout the whole game. And it's a great win, knowing that they were that good last year.
Plansky leading off here as Wendell turns the camera to right field. 1 pitch right at Wagner, 1 away. And we'll record the 9 here in the scorebook as the live stats are available for today's game at NJCUGothicKnights.com. That will bring up the designated hitter Cologne, the number 7 hitter. He is 0 for 1, popped out to short. He also walked and scored in the 2nd inning. He was the only player to score in that inning despite 5 walks. Fouled off to our right. Everybody ducking. And strike 1. You didn't have to strike out a lot of players yesterday, but you had really complete control of the strike zone. You were locating pitches and getting a lot of ground ball outs. That's grounded up the middle. Roman dives, knocks it down, but it's going to be a single in the infield for Cologne. 3rd hit of the game for Lesley. Talk about your performance yesterday with that in mind. We didn't strike out a lot of players, but you located your pitches and you got a lot of ground ball outs.
Yeah, that's really what I try to do. I'm really not much of a strikeout pitcher. I just try to get the hitters to swing at my pitches and not theirs. So I get a lot of ground balls and just try to get outs.
Ciampi is up here, and the first pitch by Markle is the ball with a runner at first base and 1 out. What do you think was the difference between yesterday's performance and your first start against Centenary, where you lasted a little less than 3 innings and took the loss?
Yeah, my first start, really my control wasn't there. It was nowhere near what it was yesterday, and I mixed it up a lot yesterday, more than I did my first game where I threw more fastballs. Yesterday I threw more like curveballs and all my other pitches.
Strike on the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now you have 6 pitches that you use. Coach Cesar says 4 that are, prevalent more than anything. But, coming off a game like that, what can you do to get better control for those who aren't familiar? As that ball is lined to right field at Wagner, he makes the catch for the 2nd out. What do you do as a pitcher to try to get better control?
Well, I work with Coach Cesar throughout the whole bullpen and every session that we get. I try to command a little bit better of my changeup, which is actually one of my best pitches, but sometimes I don't get really all the control. So yesterday was very effective. Pretty much just worked throughout the bullpen.
Parson is up with 2 away, and the first pitch, nice pitch by Markle, painting the outside corner. Parson in this game so far is 0 for 1. He walked. And he also grounded out to third. I can't read my own handwriting. That was a BB, not a 1B. It's a ball, 1-1. Now you're a junior. You obviously have been down here in Florida 3 times now. For those who don't play baseball and think that this is just a vacation for the team, explain why a trip like this is so important for a baseball team, especially early in the season.
This really starts off our season pretty much, so it's like it gets us to where we want to be. It shows us like how hard we've actually worked throughout the off season, and I think so far we've been doing all right. Our coach is great. All our coaches are great. And
popped right of home plate. It drifts back into fair territory. Alex Weinstein comes in, makes the catch about a foot inside the line, and the inning comes to a close. We'll keep talking to Wendell, but here in the top of the 6th inning for Lesley, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on. 5.5 in the books here in Winter Haven. And the Gothic Knights have a 3-2 lead. Ira Thor, NJCU Sports Information Director, with Wendell Rodriguez, yesterday's winning pitcher, as the Gothic Knights defeated Rhode Island College 10-1. Obviously, the other significant part of this trip is, although we've had nice weather, a warmer winter, you typically don't get that. Often there's still snow in the field at this time of the year, so you don't get a chance to really play any games. And baseball's meant to be played in warmer weather, not cold weather. And this is a chance to get 8 games in. 20 to 25% of your schedule is always played down here, and weather obviously is the other big factor. Talking about yesterday's game a little more, knowing now that you beat a team 10-1 that beat the College of New Jersey twice, a team that's always been a powerhouse in the NJAC, that's got to build up your confidence a little bit.
It definitely does. Last year I think I actually lost to them. So beating a team that actually swept them, it's an awesome thing to know. Just coming up to the season, if I keep working and mixing up my pitches, I think I could do well here and also in the NJAC.
How much did that win that you had over, I think it was Montclair State, right?
Yeah.
How much at the end of the season when we won 4 of our last 5 build up your confidence also coming into this year?
That was actually one of my best wins probably of my career. It's awesome to know, like a team that we haven't swept in so long. Well, actually, I don't think we never swept them.
That was the first time we ever swept them since played them since the 30s. Never swept them.
So it's awesome to know, just make history.
Juan Cruz at the plate, still looking for his first hit, and that is ball 1. Cruz struck out swinging. He also fouled out down the left field line. Cruz, who's got the potential to hit a home run at any time, hits that one on a button straight away center field, but right at Parson. Hit that ball well, but he's the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the 6th. NJCU leading 3-2. At a pinch hitter, as Ryan Winters will make his first plate appearance today. Winters from Hackettstown, New Jersey, the transfer from Sussex County Community College. Junior, hitting now .444 in the year. As we'll continue our conversation with Wendell Rodriguez. And the first pitch here by Cohen. Winters, right-handed hitter, and he looks at a strike on the outside corner. Explain to everyone who has seen on the roster for the last 2 years, obviously you went to County Prep High School. The last couple of years we've listed Jersey City, New Jersey as your hometown. And you came up to me in the preseason, as that ball gets away from the catcher, 1-1. Asked me to change it to Ponce, Puerto Rico as your hometown. Explain to everybody why.
I was actually born there, and I was raised there until I was about 7 years old. And my parents, they're really both of them actually don't know English, so it's something that.
Ground ball up the middle. That's going to be a base hit into center field for Ryan Winters. So the Gothic Knights have their 5th hit of the game with 1 out here.
So yeah, I just love to represent actually my hometown where I was actually born, which is Ponce. I still represent County Prep. County Prep was probably one of the best times of my life playing for the high school and actually going 23-4 in the last year, which is awesome. So, but I got to go. I'm Puerto Rican.
I'm just happy I've been pronouncing the name of your hometown correctly, Ponce.
Yeah.
I haven't got that wrong yet. I took French in high school, but I'm getting the Spanish down a little bit. Matt Wagner, the batter for the Gothic Knights, with one out, and Ryan Winters at first base. Wagner now hitting .444 in the year, still leading the team in hitting. Actually, I take that back. With Winters getting that hit now, he has jumped in front of Wagner. Curveball off the plate, and it's 2-0. I didn't write down the first pitch, but I believe it's 2-0 now. Wagner flew out to center field. He's also walked. Hitting the air foul behind us and out of play. 2 balls and a strike. A trip like this, I talked a little bit about this yesterday with Delia, but a trip like this also, as a team, has to be great for bonding.
Yeah, it definitely has. Usually some of us kind of, like you could say, we have different groups that we hang out with.
Hitting the air, center field, coming in is the center fielder blowing to right field and quickly having to make a play as the center fielder Parson. He came a long way to make that catch because that ended up being a ball that probably should have been handled by the second baseman, but with the wind now blowing from left to right field, that ball took off at the end. So Wagner is now out 8 to right center, and Winter stays put 2 away, and that brings up Rob Roman, who singled and scored in the last inning as NJCU scored twice and took a 3-2 lead. You're rooming with who on this trip? Who's in your room?
I have Andrew Rivera, Ryan Mitchell, Angel Marte, and Stephen again.
Ball 1 to Roman. Tell us something. What's the oddest thing that you've learned about any of your teammates on this trip? Obviously, keep it clean, but oddest thing you've learned about any of your teammates on this trip? Something you can embarrass them if you want, but something that everybody would find enjoyable.
Well, for one, Angel talks, so that's an amazing thing. I didn't know back then he was just a quiet big guy, but he actually talks. He can talk. Yeah, Stephen's a little crazy, but he's one of the best. One of my best friends actually around here.
With his Miami Vice hat.
Yeah.
Don Johnson type hat that he's been wearing down here outside of the field. That's a strike on the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Any other odd tidbits? Anybody got some interesting stories?
Yeah, there's a couple stories. I don't know if I can tell them live.
We'll let it go.
Yeah.
That ball got away from the first baseman, Lansky, and taken off and going to second base as Winters. That ball was in the dirt. Not a good throw by the pitcher, Cohen, in advancing. We're going to give that an error to the pitcher, actually, because although I guess Plansky probably should have had that. It was not a good throw. It was at his feet. So a throwing error on Cohen. That is the second error on Lesley. Each team has 2 errors now. And a ground ball to the second baseman, CP, to first. And he got him. And a player is down in the field here. And not moving is Plansky. Looked like there was a collision there. He's starting to move his foot now. And the athletic trainer will come over for Lesley to have a look at Plansky. So Roman is out 4-3. We think he's out 4-3. And just waiting to see officially what happened. It looks like Plansky is okay here as he's walking off the field. I don't know if there was a collision with Roman Roman's not really a very big guy, so not exactly sure. I did not see the collision. Trying to figure out what's going on here, because that should have been the third out. That should have been the third out, folks, because Cruz flew out to center, Wagner flew out to center, and if Roman's out, all right, they changed it then. Okay. That's not Winter standing at third base, folks. That's actually Roman. So that run by Winters does indeed count. I didn't think it was going to count here. That was a dead ball. And I thought Roman was out and the inning was over. But indeed, we're going to have to change the scoring here. All right, so officially what we're going to do, as we're trying to get this straightened out, Roman reaches on an I guess we have to give that an E4 throwing error. Advancing 2 bases is Roman. Winters scores on the error. No RBI. Run is unearned. And that will be the 4th run for the Knights. So they take a 4-2 lead. And it's, I mean, I got fooled on that one. And, you know, the first base umpire there, John Flack, originally did the punch-out sign. And when you see that, I mean, you assume that it's an out. Inning is over. But one of two things happened. Either Plansky, the first baseman, did not keep his feet on the bag and then lost the ball after the play had been over. That's really the only thing that could have happened there. Either way, we're going to have a positional change, obviously, with Plansky being hurt. Straight change, number 27, Patrick Mello is the new first baseman. We'll continue our conversation in a moment with Wendell if we get this straightened out. Martucci will be the batter now for the Knights. He's 1 for 3. He singled and scored in the first. He lined out to center and lined out to right in the 3rd and 5th innings. Roman now at third base. Got the Knights leading 4-2 after that error. Second error of the inning on the Lynx. And that is a ball. It's 2-0. Make a change here. The new first baseman is number 27, Patrick Mello. He's a left-handed hitting junior from Somerville, Massachusetts. Three balls and a strike. We've seen some odd plays on this trip, but I think that was probably the most peculiar I've seen yet. That's a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Alex Weinstein smiling up at the booth. He wants his airtime. That's what he wants. More than Peyton Manning signing with the Dolphins, he wants his airtime. Inside, ball 4. Martucci draws a 2-out walk. And the Gothic Knights now have runners at first and third, and we'll bring up Michael Patterson batting for the 4th time. He's 1 for 3. In his last plate appearance, he singled, and then he came around and scored what was at the time the go-ahead run. Still is the go-ahead run. It's 4-2. The Knights have just added on to the lead here with 1 run by Ryan Winters here in the bottom of the 6th inning. What do you think about that play there, Wendell? Do you think he was out? I mean,
first?
At first, I mean, your first thought was that he was out at first, right?
Yeah, I think the throw threw him off a little bit off the bag, and the collision brought him down, and I think that's what made him safe.
Hope Plansky is okay for Lesley. See if the Gothic Knights can take advantage of the error. Patterson goes around on that check swing. You're in your junior year now. What's been your favorite thing about playing for NJCU the last 3 years?
Actually, I love the school. I love hanging out there. It gets me away from home. I'm not just at home doing nothing. And it's just teachers, everything's great.
That's high. Should be 3-1 as we're approaching 100 pitches here for Cohen. Now, I have you listed as undeclared on the roster for this year. Obviously, that's a decision you'll probably make pretty soon. Is there anywhere you're leaning?
Business management. That's pretty much what I'm looking for.
That hit Patterson on the sleeve. It would have been ball four anyway, but it hit him on the sleeve, so sleeve is a part of the body. Hit by batter, or hit by pitch is the batter. And that loads the bases with 2 outs after that error. And that will get Pat Donovan, the pitching coach, to come out and have a conversation with Cohen. What do you hope to do with your business degree? What's your career goal?
Well, pretty much I actually want to open some businesses. I work at a bar right now, and it's awesome. I just really like the environment, like just hanging out, pretty much working, and it brings money.
Money's nice.
Yeah.
That will bring up Alex Weinstein now with the bases loaded, hitting .235 in the year, but he's been productive today. 3 fly ball outs, twice center field. He has 2 sacrifice flies. Officially, 1 at bat today. First pitch, it's not right down. I think it was a ball. That is outside. It is 1-1. It would really help if I wrote these things down. That was the 100th pitch for Cohen. Swing and a miss by Weinstein. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bases are loaded here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 4-2. Gothic Knights in front. They trailed 1-0. They trailed 2-1. But each time they've come back and tied it against this young Lesley squad. Gothic Knights young themselves, but the more established program. On the ground, diving is the second baseman. Ciampi, the third of first, is away for bag, and that will score at least 2 runs. Roman scored initially. Martucci comes around. Patterson goes to third. Weinstein will stay at first on the throwing error by the second baseman, who had to make that throw because bases were loaded. Gothic Knights would have scored. There was 2 outs, so that was the throw he had to make. Can't really fault him for that. Just did not make an accurate one. And NJCU is added to the lead. It is 6-2. Third error of the inning. And that will bring up Rivera, who doubled and drove in a run in the 5th inning. So Weinstein reaches on the E4 tee. Patterson goes to third. Martucci scores unearned. And Roman scores unearned if you're scoring at home. No RBIs, clearly. 2 strikes here to Rivera with runners at first and third. 6-2 is your score. Bottom of the 6th inning. 6 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Knights. 2 runs, 3 hits, 4 errors. 2-3-4 for Lesley. Now 104 pitches for Cohen, but his strike ratio has gone down. On the ground towards second base, Ciampi dives, makes the grab, but he can't get there in time. It's an infield single for Rivera. The Knights score again, an RBI for Rivera. Weinstein goes to second, and the Gothic Knights have grabbed a 7-2 lead, and that's probably going to be it for Cohen. So Patterson scores. That's his 2nd run scored of the game as unearned. 4 runs home this inning, folks. All of them are unearned. And that will do it for Cohen. And coming into the game, actually came in from the NJCU side because he was warming up in the bullpen over there. But coming in is number 13, Joseph Santos. He's a junior, 6 foot, 240 pounds from Springfield, Massachusetts. Went to Springfield Tech High School. And as he warms up, we'll continue talking to Wendell. I asked Delio yesterday, in his first year with the program, what it was like playing for Jerry Smith and new coaching staff of Nick Cesar and Matt Soleno and also Raj Subramanian. You as a veteran, having played, the last 3 years, what do you think the biggest change has been so far with the new coaching staff?
To me, the biggest change has been pretty much the aggressiveness. The aggressiveness that we played with, how we advanced when a hit, we advanced two bases. And he also played small ball, which was something we rarely did last year. Last year we just pretty much waited on the big hit that usually never came. And this year we have a lot of players that are just getting the ball on the ground and forcing the other team to make plays.
You sense a much different attitude around the program as well?
Yep, definitely. It's a little bit strict. It's actually stricter, but it's not a bad thing. We're actually, we're college players. We're not. Some of us are not still overly mature, and he teaches us how to respect the game, how to respect everything, and make a better name for our program.
As a pitcher, you have a pitching coach now who himself was a successful pitcher in Nick Cesar, who was very successful at Kean University, won a national championship there. Obviously, his first year that he's worked with you, how has Nick helped you the most?
We actually started a little bit rocky at the beginning just because I'm the type of pitcher that likes to pitch, you could say, backwards, where in a 2-0 count, I like to throw a curveball instead of throwing a fastball. But we've pretty much adjusted to it, and like he said, he's helping me out on sometimes I open up, he tells me to close up, he reminds me of everything that I'm doing, and it works out pretty much at the end of the day.
Stefan Segan steps in, hitting 200 on the year. He has a chance to add to this lead. The Gothic Knights with 4 unearned runs home here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and NJCU has a 7-2 lead. With no scoreboard here, Nick Cesar, who we were just talking about, actually just motioned up to me asking for the score, and we were giving him hand signals. And it's a called strike. Segan in this game is 0 for 2 with a walk. Say hello to Rob Gonzalez, one of your former teammates who's watching this one. Segan swings and misses, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Now Cesar, pitching coach Nick Cesar, calls the pitches himself this year. Everybody going on that pitch, and Segan hitting the butt by the pitch. I guess if you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's where you want to take it. Softest part of the body. You don't want to get hit in the back like Rivera's been hit twice now. Definitely don't want to get hit in the leg. So another hit by a pitch, and Segan didn't even flinch in that one. Bases remain loaded. Or are loaded again, I should say, and that will bring up Cruz looking for his first collegiate hit. And that first pitch is high. A walk will bring home another run. Cruz in this game is 0 for 3, a foul out, a strikeout, and a line out to center. And that's high as well, 2-0. Is that different for you, Wendell, having the pitching coach call the pitches?
Yeah, it actually is. At the beginning, like I said, it was just he would call one thing, I would want to throw a different one. But as practice and everything has gone on, we've gotten to know what we want. So everything's going smooth. The game runs a lot smoother.
It was probably just more of an adjustment for you because it's something you weren't used to.
Yep, definitely.
Here's the pitch. Inside, it is 3-1, and Santos, the new pitcher, is in danger of walking in the 8th run of this game. Cruz on the ground, through the left side for the first hit of his college career. Weinstein scores. Rivera scores. Segan stops at second. It's a 2-run, 2-out single by Juan Cruz, and the Gothic Knights lead is now 9-2. everything this inning is unearned. You make errors, sometimes they come back to bite you, and that's what's happening here. We're going to have a pinch runner. Is that Delio? Delio Catino, yesterday's camera person, the pitcher on Sunday, striking out 10, is pinch running. Very interesting. Get a chance to zoom in on him at second base. We may not see this sight again for a long time. So Delio Catino pinch running at second base for Stefan Segan. And Ryan Winters comes to the plate for the second time. Winters, who came in for Mike Cassiano, pinch hitting in this inning. Actually, it seemed like it was a while ago, but it's actually the same inning because he will be the 11th batter of the inning. He singled and scored an unearned run. Doesn't it feel like it was at least a couple innings ago?
Yeah, it definitely does.
With Winters at the plate, and obviously Cassiano in there before, you're throwing to a couple of guys who are really new to you because Francisco Ramirez was the primary catcher your first 2 years. That's high. What's it been like throwing with Ryan and Mike?
Well, Mike actually he used to catch me last year, not during the games, but throughout the bullpen, so he really knows what I like. With Winters, it's been a little bit harder, but, just like Mike last year, it's like another adjustment, and we should grow into it.
That is a curveball in the inside corner to Ryan. Gothic Knights blowing the game open here in the inning. Liner, base hit to right field, and that's going to bring home Catino. An RBI single by Ryan Winters. Catino scores, and he has a lot of fun sliding the home plate. And Cruz goes to third, and the Gothic Knights now in double figures, 7 runs this inning. It is now 10-2. And Jerry Smith's going to make another change here, getting everyone involved. Cruz goes to third. Catino scores. That's an unearned run. I'm laughing at a comment online. Gothic Knight men's soccer coach Pat Snyder calling me a combination of John Serling and Susan Waldman. Pinch hitter for the Gothic Knights here for Wagner will be Orlando Bolano, the junior from Hoboken. His first at bat today. Pinch hitting for Wagner, whose day comes to an end with an 0-for-2 performance, but a walk and a cleanly played right field. Winters is at first. Cruz at third. Bolano is the 12th batter of the inning, and the head coach, Mike Rocco, having a conversation for Lesley with NJCU head coach Jerry Smith. Not sure what it's about. We'll see if we can get a shot of that. Also, Michael Applegate, the umpire, in there. I think they're just talking about the lineup. NJCU's alumni Chris Marable is watching today's game, as he's watched a few of them out in Australia, where he's working since he's graduated from Major League Baseball's Australia properties. That's a ball to Bolano. This is a family broadcast. You let us know you're watching, we'll say hi to you. Bolano, that Pitch is low, and he has a good eye there. Pitching from the stretch, and that is a fourth straight ball given up by Santos, and the bases are loaded again. Winters moves on to second base. I've been asked to give a shout out to Alex Weinstein's cousin Joanna, who hasn't missed a play watching from home. So hello, Joanna. We're hoping you're enjoying today's broadcast. Cousin's having a great day. A couple sacrifice flies for RBIs. Made two great defensive plays. Once a diving stop at first, and also coming in and catching a ball where he had to sprint down the first base line on a pop-up. Well, umpire just looked at his clicker here, and now it's ball 4. It was actually ball 3 before. And Winters, who went on to second base on that, we're actually going to have to go back and credit him a stolen base, because he advanced and no one challenged it. Liner by Rivera. That's a base hit to left center field. 1 comes in. Here comes a second, and the Gothic Knight lead is 12-2.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, folks. I had to make a scoring change here. Actually, that is not Rivera. It's Rob Roman. I'm looking at the wrong spot in the lineup here. So a first pitch RBI single by Roman. So that's a single to left center. 2 RBIs. Alano went to second. Winters scored. Cruz scored. And fouled off to our left is the pitch by Martucci. Martucci, as we got that squared away, is the 14th batter of the inning. As the Gothic Knights have 9 runs home here, they lead 12-2. Runners at first and second, all of this happening after a pair of errors. Martucci hits in the air, straightaway left field, moving out towards the foul line, and making the catch is Kootware as the inning finally comes to an end. And Roman and Bolano are left on base. However, NJCU 9 runs on 5 hits. There were 3 errors and 2 left on base. Big inning for the Gothic Knights. They've blown this game wide open. And at the end of 6 innings here in Winter Haven, Florida, it's NJCU 12 and Lesley University 2. We're going to have a bunch of changes here defensively. And let's take a look here. Obviously, Winters is going to stay in the game and catch. Bolano, I believe it's out in right field.
Yes.
Wendell confirms that, so Bolano is the new right fielder. And looking around the diamond, Alex is still at first, Cruz is still at third, Rob and Mike still in the middle of the infield, and we know Andrew and Mike Patterson aren't going anywhere, so those are the 2 changes for NJCU, and now it's just up to Zack Markle. He needs 9 outs as the Gothic Knights hoping for their 3rd win of the trip.
9. 12-2. 12-2.
umpire without the scoreboard, just verifying with us up here that the score is indeed 12-2, and we head to the top of the 7th inning. We'll have another half inning here with Wendell Rodriguez. Shaw, Plord, Gosnell, the 1-2-3 hitters due up here. Shaw today, as he takes the first pitch from Markle, he's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. What do you think about Zach's performance here on the mound?
He's had a great performance. Last game he came in and he did all right. One error and then Russ scored, but it wasn't pretty much on him.
He's somebody that last year he saw some time. He played in 11 games, usually brief appearances out of the bullpen. Have you seen improvement in him this year, and so with the new coaching staff taking over?
Yeah, definitely. Coach Cesare is actually a left-handed, so he definitely helped pretty much all three left-handers out.
In the air to left field, Rivera settles underneath it. He makes the catch in left center. One away. That will bring up Plord, the right fielder. Looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here, in fact. It will be Michael Russo. He's a sophomore, 6 foot, 270 pounder. Looks like a linebacker from West Haven, Connecticut, Notre Dame High School. So Russo comes in the pinch hit. And the Gothic Knights will make a pitching change, and for the first time in his collegiate career, we will see Ryan Mitchell, sophomore from Colonia, New Jersey. Business management major for the Gothic Knights. Markle is in line to win this game. He had a save last year. Markle last year did not have a pitching decision. He made 11 appearances, 1 save, 12.2 innings. He was wild. He walked 10 in 12.2 innings. He had 6 strikeouts. He had a 7.82 ERA. Perfect today, pretty much, though. Very good start to his sophomore year. Wendell, what could you tell us about Ryan Mitchell, since really no one watching has seen him pitch yet?
I think he's going to have a great game. He doesn't throw any 4 seams. He does just throw 2 seamers, and usually you get a lot of ground balls, and ground balls get outs. So hopefully he does good.
So Ryan Mitchell will be facing the new batter, Michael Russo. As Mitchell completes his warm-up tosses. Mitchell, the 3rd pitcher used so far by the Knights. I'm not used to seeing a number 54 out there. That's the first time I've seen a 54 worn by a pitcher. Take a little getting used to. I see 54 out there, I'm thinking football. So Mitchell against Russo here. First pitch of his college career is a swinging strike. And I know the coaches enjoy seeing a first pitch swinging strike. Chopped foul to the right of home plate. And quickly Mitchell's ahead of his first batter, 0-2. Now you'll get one more start on this trip, Wendell. Probably, I would say, Friday, would you think it would be against Framingham, or Saturday against Sewanee?
I think it's Saturday.
Swing and a miss, and Ryan Mitchell strikes out Russo First batter he faces in college is a strikeout, so that'll be memorable at bat there. As Mitchell sends down Russo for out number 2, and that would bring up the third baseman, Gosnell. Gosnell is 0 for 2 with a walk and an RBI today. You know, obviously, Suwannee is a team that you don't know really much about. What would be your mindset facing a team like that? As that is grounded to short, Martucci gathers, throws on to first, and that will end the inning on the 6-3 putout. And are we saying that's going to end the game? Are they going to call this after 7 innings?
10-run rule?
They typically do not enforce that here, but that looks like what we're doing here. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on in the 7th. That's got to be what it is here. We're going to call it here after 7 innings. So we thank Wendell Rodriguez. We'll talk to you more later in the week, hopefully, and we wish you good luck against Suwannee. Wendell doing a great job today on camera. We certainly appreciate it. A victory today. They called it after 7? Yeah, it's officially called after 7, folks. You don't see that too often, but that is what is the verdict today. So, game ending a little earlier than expected. Maybe it means a little pool time today for everyone. But a 1-2-3 inning there for Ryan Mitchell. Zack Markle with his first win of the season. First win of his career, in fact, as he did not have a decision last year. As we were talking about, the losing pitcher is Ray Cohen. In his first career start for Lesley, he falls to 0-1. NJCU officially today, 12 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. Lesley, 2 runs, 3 hits, and 4 errors. We look at the final stats here for the Gothic Knights. First of all, pitching, Carrasco started, lasted 1 2/3 innings, 1 hit, allowed 2 earned runs. He walked 5, including 2 wild pitches. Zack Markle was brilliant. 4 2/3 innings. The left-hander allowed just 2 hits, no runs. Didn't strike anyone out. He walked just 1. He threw 52 pitches, and he was effective. Mitchell, 2/3 of an inning, 1 strikeout, 5 pitches. Pretty darn good debut for Ryan Mitchell in a short outing there. Everyone who's healthy has played on this trip so far for NJCU now that Mitchell's gotten it in there. Wendell Rodriguez is coming back up. Oh, I forgot his clipboard. I thought he was coming up with some insight. Taking a look at the final offensive stats for NJCU, and obviously many of the runs today were unearned. Multiple hits, 2 players today. Andrew Rivera was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, a double and a run scored. Ryan Winters was 2 for 2 with 2 runs and 1 RBI. Martucci and Patterson each had 1 hit and 2 runs scored. Ryan Winters with 2 runs scored. Rob Roman, 2 runs scored. They each had 2 hits, and Rob Roman also had 2 RBIs. So Weinstein with 2 sacrifice flies, Rivera, Cruz, and Roman all with 2 RBIs today. Multiple runs scored by Martucci, Patterson, Winters, and Roman, as NJCU today in 7 innings defeats Lesley 12-2. For Lesley, no players with multiple hits, as the Gothic Knight pitching staff committed a 3-hit complete, or 7-inning game, not complete game. Game's complete, but 7-inning performance here was hits were by Kootware and Mello, along with Plord, Cologne, and Shaw with runs scored. So surprised, did not expect this game to be called after 7, but that is indeed the verdict today. Pitching-wise for Lesley, Cohen started 5 2/3 innings. He allowed 9 runs. Just 3 of them were earned. 6 hits. He walked 2. Walked 3, actually. He hit 3, and he struck out 2. Before Santos came in for a third of an inning, allowed 3 unearned runs, 3 hits. He walked 1, and he hit 1. So, NJCU with the win today, their second win of the season. They improved to 3-2 overall. Lesley falls to 1-4. Gothic Knights win the first ever meeting between these teams. NJCU wins as a home team on a scoreboard for the first time this year. And they also improved to 2-0 on this trip against teams from the NECC conference after defeating Daniel Webster back on Saturday. So the Gothic Knights now 3-2. They will be off tomorrow and will return for Game 5 of this trip on Thursday, March 15th at 12 p.m. They will take on Mount St. Mary, a member of the Skyline Conference, about an hour and a half from the NJCU campus. And that game will take place in Lakeland, Florida. It is a 12 p.m. start. We will be on the air at 11:55 a.m. as the Gothic Knights attempt to win their 4th game of this trip. NJCU today winning 12-2, 12 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. Lesley, 2 runs, 3 hits, and 4 errors, and they were costly as the Gothic Knights took advantage and scored a number of unearned runs, including the 9-run inning that put this game away for the Gothic Knights. You can read the full recap for this one at NJCUGothicKnights.com. We'll have that up a little later today. And also, just a reminder that the softball team's in action at 1 and 3 o'clock. They play MCLA in Cape Coral, Florida. You can see the live stats for both games right at NJCUGothicKnights.com. So once again, our final score today, New Jersey City University 12, Lesley University 2. The Gothic Knights improved to 3-2 overall. They'll be off until Thursday when we'll talk to you at 11:55 a.m. Gothic Knights taking on Mount St. Mary College. For Wendell Rodriguez, who joined us on the broadcast and helps out on the camera, I'm Ira Thor. Thank you for watching today's broadcast of Gothic Knight Baseball on the Green and Gold Network, and we'll talk to you Thursday live from Lakeland, Florida. Until then, be well, everybody.